Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh and Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned. My friends are going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 29. I just did this a minute ago, but I hadn't hit the go live button. So, let's do this for real this time. Welcome to episode 29 of the Loudest Sports Show. I'm your host, Patrick Rahal, but you can call me Patsy the Angry Nerd. And we are here in the Pat Cave, brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee, because we are a part of the Dorkening Network. And I'm here, as always, with my co-host on the show and my co-host in life. It is Slash is the Ice Queen. I almost screwed it up.
You almost did.
I almost did. You could tell.
You got it correct when we weren't live. So
yes.
Of course you would attempt to
no
screw
pressure.
it up.
There was no pressure.
Right.
So we are here, and you, like I said, you might notice a little bit of a different backdrop. You know, I've got some stuff that I've rearranged. You might notice this really cool Raiders helmet right behind me. It is a custom Raiders helmet that I won in the Strong-Willed Sports Memorabilia and More group. Yeah, see, it's hard to, when it's a mirror, it's hard to remember where you're going.
Pointing somewhere.
And that group obviously is a big part of what we're doing tonight, because tonight we are drawing the names for the Bill Belichick signed helmet, which if you're watching the show, you can see it right here. And the Magic Johnson basketball, which you can kind of, it's in a box right behind me, but I'll show it when we go to do the actual draws and we choose the winners. But we tonight have a pretty awesome getting into opening face-off. Getting into character. See, I'm so used to doing this for Thread on Thursday, that other show that we're on, you know, the one that we've been doing for like 5 years. So our story, I'm so tired. Like, I've been running myself ragged, and you have too.
What is sleep?
Whose idea was it to do a live show? They should be slapped. But our opening face-off question for tonight is, if you could own one franchise in each of the 4 major North American sport leagues, what would they be? And this is, of course, for, you have to pick 4. You have to pick 4 because it's one in each. So, Slashes, what would you go with?
I don't know. Give me a moment.
Okay. Well, I'll start.
Because, I think the low-hanging fruit is to go with the teams that you root for. Obviously, I would love to be an owner of the Boston Bruins. I would love to be an owner of the Dallas Cowboys, but I'd probably end up with the Denver Broncos.
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
I would love to be an owner of the Boston Red Sox and of the Celtics. But I feel like that's too easy. That's too easy. So I'm thinking about it. Now, could we bring back franchises?
I think so. I think you could. I think you could do that. I mean, like, what franchise would you bring back? I mean, they're kind of, we discussed this.
Well, I mean, like, sometimes franchises become something else.
Yes.
Like, teams move.
Yeah.
And sometimes they change their names. Sometimes they don't. They just, change the location. But sometimes, well, I mean, and just like the Jets, sometimes a franchise leaves, becomes a different team, and then they decide that they want a team again.
Yeah, the Winnipeg
and
Jets.
Rebuild a franchise.
Yes.
So I don't know. I want to bring back the Montreal Expos.
Okay. Canadian baseball team.
Right? Let's be Expos. I think for basketball, I would want to own the Toronto Raptors.
You just want to be in Canada.
I mean, blame Canada.
Mm.
I mean, because they're the Raptors, dinosaurs.
That's true. You did
Team
mention
dinosaurs.
that last time.
I mean, or maybe I would create my own franchise and be like
The Magenta Penguins.
oh my god, the Magenta Penguins. No, you'd be like the Stegosauruses or something.
The Fighting Stegos.
But yeah, so for baseball, I would pick the Montreal Expos. I would revive them. For basketball, I would want to own the Raptors.
So we got football and hockey left.
You know, I think I'm going to stick with the Dallas Cowboys.
I've always kind of wanted to own the Dallas Cowboys.
I think I'm going to stick with them for football because, you know, Jerry Jones is an asshole. And we've talked about that on the show. He's not the nicest person. So maybe, you know, a new owner to step in, treat some of the players a little bit better, kind of put a little more respect on the Dallas Cowboys name, make it America's team again. You know, maybe that's my calling. Maybe I'm supposed to own the Dallas Cowboys.
It's entirely possible.
And hockey. See, hockey is that's a really tough choice because I have, you know, obviously my main team is the Bruins, but I do have several secondary teams that I enjoy rooting for, like the Washington Capitals, you know, when they're not in contention with the Bruins.
I don't root for the Capitals at all.
I find myself rooting for them if the Bruins are not.
I rooted for them against Vegas because I wanted to see Ovi win a cup. That was it.
I do love the Vegas Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm gonna choose?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna choose the Seattle Kraken. They're not a team yet, but I have a feeling that they're gonna be my West Coast team. I really like the name.
Get Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Oh, you know they're gonna play that like as their goal.
I hope so. I hope their mascot is like a Cthulhu-looking thing, like.
Oh, and he and Gritty can have unholy children together.
Oh my god! No! Yeah, okay. So Kraken, and maybe I'll be a part owner of the Philadelphia Flyers.
So you can
just so I can have access to Gritty for all of my parties.
Okay. I think for me, I would definitely want to own the Red Sox because not only is it one of the most valuable franchises, like there's a lot that goes along with it.
I would say there's a lot of history there too. Yeah. With that team.
And there's been a certain revitalization over the last, 20 years that we've seen from that team. Basketball, I mean, yeah, Colleen loves Gritty. I mean, basketball, I would have to still go with the Celtics. Again, a lot of history, a lot of great players, a lot of numbers up in the rafters. Hockey, if it wasn't the Bruins, I would probably go with the Sharks just because I like Sharks. And what does that leave? Tennis? No. Football. Oh, the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, not only is it one of the most valuable franchises, but I do see the value in, say, like the Dallas Cowboys. If you could help restore them to prominence by, not being, such an insufferable bastard, you could do some great things. You could go down in history and be in the Hall of Fame as an owner.
So speaking of Gritty, if you are not following Gritty, I think it's Gritty NHL on Instagram, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Gritty, for St. Patrick's Day, dressed up as a leprechaun and had a kiddie pool full of gold coins and was just being
gritty.
Yeah, being gritty.
Doing gritty stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's something pretty much every day. He's great. He's great. Super fun to follow. So yeah, definitely do that. Follow him on Instagram.
I'm a big fan of Gritty and his Instagram Insta shenanigans. I don't know. Insta shenanigans. Does that work?
Sure, why not?
It doesn't work. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. There's a lot of
get into it.
A lot of stuff going on. So we're gonna play a quick ad, and then we'll get back and get right into it because we also have a deadline. So let's get into this.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
All right, so we're back. The first thing I'm going to do before we get into this, I'm going to do a quick screen share. And I just want to thank everybody who was a part of this raffle, because I want to show you what we have for names and numbers on this. So as you can see, starting here at number 1, and some of these were from the free code we gave away when Craig joined us. And so scrolling through all the names, we have 164 spots that were bought.
Wow.
And as a result, we raised a lot of money. Some of those spots were, given away for various contests and things like that. But we did a lot. We raised quite a bit of money. We're going to be giving away to Strong-Willed $500. Our goal was $250, but because of folks like you, we're going to give $500, which I think
awesome.
Which I think is excellent.
Have a little more energy. That's great. We're giving Strong-Willed $500.
I wasn't even done yet. Jonathan Martinelli says if Patrick wins, I write. He has a bit of a friendly rivalry going back and forth with Patrick Fraze, who is known both in our group and Strong-Willed as Mr. Freeze because of his last name. And he's on a bit of a hot streak. He won the Broncos replica helmet and 3 NFL jerseys in a row. So where do I get the signed memorabilia? Different places, sometimes eBay, if they can provide a certificate of authenticity, because a lot of these places that do signed memorabilia will, like when we did the Chara helmet a while ago.
And we also have a couple of reputable sources that we get our stuff from as well. So everything that we get has been certified and verified.
Yeah.
So we don't get anything that looks sketchy. If we can't, so typically what happens with autographed memorabilia is if it's authenticated, not only does it have its own little certificate with a serial number on it, but you're able to go and check that serial number online.
You do have
verification there.
You do have to go to certain sites because some of them, they're like, oh yeah, like I verify that I saw this happen, and people will try to pass off like, yeah, I got it signed in the parking lot after a game as a certificate of authenticity, which
we
isn't.
Deal with reputable sources and
JSA, Beckett, PSA.
Yes. we only deal
TriStar,
with certain authentication distributors.
Authenticators.
They're
authenticators. And then distributors after that, like Fanatic Sports.
Right.
Places that hold their own autograph signings, and then, we'll pass it on, like a place like Your Sports Memorabilia, which is where, we have a bunch of Bruin signed stuff, and that's where, like, including your tattoo is authenticated by Your Sports Memorabilia.
I'm authenticated.
Strong-Willed, you guys are the best. No, you guys are the fucking best.
You guys are the best.
You
Seriously,
guys are the best.
You guys are doing. We're just helping out. You guys are doing the grunt work.
No strange men offering helmets and vans. No, that's not where we get them. Hey kid,
you fell off the back of
the truck. Hey kid, you want to buy some memorabilia?
Yeah.
Hey.
Where'd you get this? Don't worry about it.
Oh no, Jonathan, we weren't concerned that you didn't trust us. We're just making sure that folks know. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to go back to the screen share real quick and put all those names into our wheel. We're not going to run the wheel yet, but we're going to put the names into the wheel so you can see exactly how awesome and how filled this is. So I put 10 names in the wheel earlier, and so what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you how we do this, and we'll run this again right before we run the whole game. But so there's 10 numbers in this wheel right now. And so we're going to customize it. We're going to do 30 seconds, but say we're just going to do 10 seconds for now. Oops. Yeah. Just to show you. We don't argue lines. Whatever the computer says, that's who the winner is. So in this case, say there were 10 people. You got the sweet video game music. So in this case, number 9 would be the winner. Okay. And the Bruins just scored. McKegg. This is my good friend, Mr. McKegg, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. So let me now paste all the names. This is going to take a minute. Look at all those names.
Wow.
There's a lot of repeats. Couple of people. Strong Will, is that Double Dragon music? Let's see. I have to say it's people like you and many others in the group that make it great. Yeah, the fact that so many people brought this total up so high. I was actually able to help somebody else out the other day. I'm not going to name any names or anything, but someone was like, "Hey, I'm not looking for a handout, but I need to raise some money, so I'm selling some of my memorabilia, and I need some help." And it's like, you know what? I have this money. Normally, I would not be able to do this, but I was able to help them out, and they were able to afford the medical procedure that was required of them. So it's awesome that you guys were able to help with that as well. And so, we're going to be doing a couple of free giveaways. We have some great stuff coming in, but let's get back to the sports stuff, because we want to get through this so we can give away this helmet
And the ball.
and the ball. All right,
You're
so
going to have a ball.
we are talking about the Bruins just a moment ago, and there's a bunch of stuff going on.
This past week in the NHL, hockey season is always exciting, and there's really never a dull moment when hockey season is in full swing. So a lot happened this past week. The Tampa Bay Lightning finally officially raised their 2019-2020 Stanley Cup champions banner with fans in attendance. Shut your mouth.
Asterisk on that.
I mean,
banner.
I have opinions, but whatever.
Anything.
It's exciting being able
Thanks,
to, will you shut up? It's nice that they waited until they were able to have fans in attendance to be able to do this. It's always awesome seeing your team raise this banner that they worked for so hard for, and despite all of the hardships that happened towards the end of the end of the 2019-2020 season, with
a year ago
having to
it was about a year ago that everybody shut down.
Shutting down the season, everything kind of, all up in the air. Bro, you're trying to sleep in the doghouse.
You know what? Nobody would take my blankets.
What did I say? You gotta want it. He's always like, "Oh, you're stealing the blankets in the middle of the night." I'm like, clearly I want it more. If you wanted it, you would steal your own. Like, dude.
All right, so back to the
hockey. So that's exciting. Do you want to?
Oh, you want to put it? I thought you had it up on your device as well. But yeah, go ahead.
So Mika Zibanejad of the New York Rangers ties the NHL record for most points scored in a single period with 3 goals and 3 assists.
Hat trick and 3 assists in a single period.
The Rangers beat the Flyers 9-0. 7 of the goals scored, so including Mika's 3 goals, were scored in the second period alone.
My pick for Carter Hart to be the Vezina Trophy winner is looking better and better every goddamn day.
So that game was crazy. They scored 2 goals in the first, 7 goals in the second, and then they
coasted at the
didn't
end.
score in the third, but yet neither did the
Unacceptable.
other team, so it's not like it really mattered.
Yeah, the other guys didn't score at all. Like Philly is a good team too. Like, I don't know.
Should have put Gritty in net.
I said that a while ago. They should put Gritty in goal. Ooh, Marchand took a tumble. He got hit in the head and tackled. Yeah, it's nuts.
Alex Ovechkin. It would be awesome if I wasn't sick and could speak appropriately. Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals. It's not the wine. I just started drinking the wine.
Oh boy, I'm blaming. Oh man, I wish I wasn't sick. Oh, that's what's causing me to not make words.
Wine flu.
The wine flu.
Wine flu. Alex Ovechkin of the Capitals passes Phil Esposito for 6th place on the NHL's all-time goals list with 718 career goals. So this past week, he tied Esposito. And that was big news. And then the very next game, he surpassed Esposito. So good for him.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to keep going.
Yeah, and again, it's a little bit more of a wide open game, but still nobody scores the way they just threw up like the active goal scorers, the goal scoring leaders in the NHL, because Eric Stahl, I think, is 5th, and he's one of those guys that there's a lot of speculation that he might be traded because Buffalo is terrible. But like he's 200 ahead of the next, I think is like Crosby or Malkin, like he's 200 ahead of them. Like, which is insane. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff.
So Carrie Price of the Canadiens made 34 saves in his 700th NHL game. Montreal beat Winnipeg that night 4-2. So good things coming from Carrie Price. He's always been a solid goalie.
He's been really
good. He's been in the NHL for a while.
Well, he's the reason that Halak ended up moving on, because both he and Halak were very, very good that one year that they got up to the Stanley Cup, and Montreal had to make a choice, and they went with Carrie Price, who has since won the Vezina at least once and has been the finalist several times. So I think they did well. Like, Carrie Price is one of the top goalies in the league. He just hasn't had a good team around him in quite some time.
Evgeny Malkin of the Pittsburgh Penguins,
who we just talked about.
Yeah, had a goal and an assist to reach 1,100 NHL points when the Penguins beat the Bruins 4-1 on Monday.
Yeah, not totally cool with that, but
no, but that's a pretty.
I mean, 1,100 points.
Feat. Like that's impressive.
I mean,
really
the guy's
impressive.
got 3 Stanley Cup rings. I think 2 at least.
2, I think. Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers is the first player to reach 50 points this season.
Yeah, a week after Austin Matthews was the first one to hit 20 goals.
Yep.
I mean, McDavid started off strong. He had a hat trick opening night. So.
And Jordan Binnington, he's the current goalie of the St. Louis Blues.
Stanley Cup winning goalie.
Yeah, has agreed to terms on a 6-year contract extension. So he's going to be on the Blues for a while.
Hey, Slashes.
Hey, what?
What's brewing?
You like that? What's brewing? Because it's brewing. Bruins news.
Yes,
What's brewing?
I get it.
So Tuukka Rask is out, and he's still out with an undisclosed.
I think it's his back.
They're calling it a lower body injury.
A slight lower upper body injury. Yeah, I think it's his back.
So no timeline as to when he's going to return. With that being said, Daniel Vladar.
Darth
Vader made 34 saves in his first NHL start.
I don't think that was his first start.
It was his first start. He's played.
All right, because I thought
brought
he
in
started,
as relief.
I thought he started.
He's been brought
before.
in as relief.
So I know this was his first win.
No, Vladar was brought in as relief for Halak in the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah, and he got fucking shellacked.
Yes, but he's been improving down in Providence, and they decided that they would bring him up. Give him another chance. I mean, the playoffs are a really, it's almost like baptism by fire. like your first time playing in the NHL, you're playing in the playoffs.
And
like the
here's
playoffs are a
thing.
completely different kind of monster than the normal
Here's
season.
the other thing is that, like, we just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, how, like, you know, Tuukka was hurt and they were going to bring somebody up, and we thought it was going to be the other kid. Because he was like 7-0 with like
there was some debate, you know, but I mean, at the same time, you know, there's a big difference between, you know, playing in the minors and playing in the pros.
Yeah, but I think maybe because Vladar.
I think, you know,
later.
Yeah, well, I think it's because, you know, they brought him up because he has experience playing in the NHL. You know, and although his outcome the last time he played wasn't great, I think they decided to give him a chance to, I don't want to say prove himself, but, you know, prove himself. And he did great. The Bruins went on to beat the Penguins 2-1. So,
yeah,
you know, he made some great saves.
I was hoping he'd get a shutout, but, you know.
I mean, that's always a nice story. You know, your first NHL start, you shut out, but you know that's few and far between.
But I mean, one goal against that team.
Speaking of shutouts, Halak had his 52nd career shutout, moving him into 26th place on the NHL's all-time shutout list.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
So that's I mean, he's been in the league for a while. He's been
like 36.
on, you know, a couple of different teams. You know, he's seasoned, so he's had the opportunity to, you know, have several shutouts under his belt.
Yeah, he was a starter for a long time.
It's nice to see him play well. You know, obviously he still needs to work on his game a little bit, but you know, that's where them bringing up Vladar and having Vladar do so well, it's promising. It's all good things. Side note, I still love Trent Frederick.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'm just throwing it out there. I still love him. I think I love him even more. He's really stepping into his own as far as he's finding his footing on the offense.
Yes,
like he's really becoming a great offensive player, and you know, putting himself in the position that he needs to be in and scoring goals. And that's great to see. So not only can he throw down, not only is he scrappy AF,
he'll put the biscuit in the basket.
He'll put the biscuit in the basket.
That's what they say. That's a hockey term. But if it was Bergeron saying, he'd be like, hey, you put the croissant in the satchel?
He would not
that is what I say.
Anything about that. So what everyone is still talking about right now is the Tinordi hit from Brandon Tanev. Tanev received a major penalty for boarding and a game misconduct.
Well, wait a minute. If somebody hits a Bruin, they get a penalty?
Sometimes.
It's so weird.
So Tinordi I believe he's not playing tonight. He's out with a potential concussion. That was the last I heard. I couldn't find any updates on him at all whatsoever, except for it was an upper body injury.
Which means concussion.
You know, he's in concussion protocol, and, you know, nothing else from that. So the big debate going on in the NHL right now is, was it a clean hit? Some people agree with the on ice decision that the refs made, that, you know, he was charging at Tinordi, that even though he didn't leave his feet, it was a target. It was a targeted hit. It was a dirty hit. And especially because the head was involved.
Yeah.
And other, you know, people around the NHL are saying that it was misinterpreted by the refs, that it was a clean hit, and that, you know, sometimes hits happen, and they happen in an unfortunate way, and it leads to somebody getting, you know, seriously injured. So I want your thoughts, Patsy.
Well, you know, if you're getting a game misconduct for something and you're targeting the head, which is what that looked like, I'm gonna say that it was a dirty hit. Like, this keeps happening to the Bruins, it seems, and maybe teams figured, oh, they're not going to call penalties against us, so we can target their players and go after their head. And Tenorti's one of those guys that, he's in the Frederick mold where he doesn't mind mixing it up. He doesn't mind, sticking his nose in and kind of, because he was one of those guys that fought against Tom Wilson after Wilson took Carlo out.
Mm-hmm.
And, Carlo's still out. And that's, up to the next thing you were going to say.
Yeah, so the Bruins are now without 5 defensemen. Brandon Carlo, who we just spoke about, Jeremy Lauzon, Kevin Miller, and John Moore, along with Tenorti.
Yeah, which is nuts because, they went in and that was going to be the strength of this team is this, and Lauzon was playing well, Carlo was playing well, Miller was playing well.
Right, they decided to build their defense around these young defensemen.
Charlie McAvoy.
Who could be the future of this team.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all out.
Yeah. So, they've been trying to make do as best they can with some of these guys that have been coming up. Again, McAvoy's been solid. But it's very difficult when you have that many guys out.
Yes.
And then there'll be people that are like, well, I bet they could have used Chara now. It's like, maybe. I've seen Chara play, especially against the Bruins. I haven't been overly impressed.
I don't know how much help Chara would have been this season as far as that's, is concerned.
He's solid. He's not that number one guy that he's supposed to be.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, he was, he's played okay. They're giving him a lot of minutes. He's not, screwing things up. I thought he was going to be a complete liability. And I think he would have been on this team, but with Washington, but the Bruins are looking to add pieces they talked about.
Right. So the trade deadline is quickly approaching in
Just
April.
A few weeks away. Yeah.
And the Bruins are among several teams interested in Nashville's Matthias Ekholm.
I like Ekholm. He's a solid player. I think he fits the Bruin mold fairly well. I think he would definitely help this young defensive core.
I think as of right now, jump on it. Get him if you can.
There were lots of rumors about Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but I don't think he'd be the best fit here. I'd also like to see them add some secondary scoring.
Yeah, that's one of the places that they need to work on.
I'd move DeBrusk for Taylor Hall, even if it's just for this year. Speaking of Hall, he's playing tonight. I wanted the Bruins to sign him, and he ended up going to Buffalo, proving, like I said at the time, he doesn't care about winning. He just wants money. But he just signed a 1-year deal. So I don't know. Let's see, what do we got? Your skates leave the ice for a headshot. It's a penalty. Well, it's supposed to be. Yes. But that's not always the case, as we saw with Tom Wilson on Brandon Carlo, because his skates left the ice. They didn't leave it that much.
I was going to say, there's some discrepancy as far as that's
they do a lot of judgment calls. Did he really leave? Was he mid stride? It's supposed to be a penalty. A headshot up against the boards, up against the glass, up against any type of, stationary surface should be a penalty. But, it's very subjective as to when they call that. So because we're kind of pressed on time, we're going to combine our NBA and Major League Baseball news into one topic.
Because technically, as of right now, one kind of has to do with the other.
They both do with each other. Yes, LeBron James is now a part owner of the Red Sox. What part? Well, LeBron James is joining the Fenway Sports Group as a partner, which gives him an ownership stake in its subsidiaries, which includes the Boston Red Sox, the Liverpool Football Club, Rouge Fenway Racing, and the regional sports network NESN. So yes, he's technically an owner. I technically own GameStop. He had already owned 2% of Liverpool, but joining this by joining FSG, the Fenway Sports Group, he has expanded his portfolio, and he and his business partner Maverick Carter, who I believe runs Clutch Sports, which is the agency that represents a lot of players, including Anthony Davis. They will become the company's first black partners. And the reason why he's doing this is he wants to someday own an NBA team. As of right this second, there is one majority owner in all of the NBA, which is a predominantly a sport predominantly populated by black athletes. There's only one black majority owner, Michael Jordan.
Really?
He's the only one. He's got the Charlotte Hornets because North Carolina and everything. But nowhere else in that league. And there was a whole controversy going on about how the owner of the the Timberwolves was supposed to sell the team or sell part of the team to go to a group not controlled, but a group that had partnered with Kevin Garnett, who is synonymous with the Timberwolves. Like, he brought them out of obscurity. And they like the deal fell through. There's a long story for that.
I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron on the court, but off court, I think he's a great person.
He does a
tremendous
philanthropist.
I was going to say he does a lot of really good work, and I think it's really smart of him to be one step ahead and thinking about the future. You're not going to be able to play basketball forever. So it's almost like he's trying to create, something to not necessarily fall back on, because I don't think
he's diversifying his portfolio.
Right. Yeah. It's never going to be a money thing. He's made enough money.
He's made $1 billion in his career so far.
But I think, to give himself something to do, to kind of create this legacy, to leave something to his kids, his, grandkids, what have you.
Well, I
think it's really smart.
Well, this is a guy who, it's not like he's not dumb. There's been a lot of times, like Antoine Walker was a guy who played for the Celtics for many, many years. Him and Paul Pierce were a great tandem. I loved watching those guys play. But that dude made like $180 million during his career, flat broke, because people took advantage of him. People, gave him poor investment advice. If you're investing in another sports franchise, obviously there's no conflict of interest. Even though it's a Boston, LA thing, there's no conflict of interest because it's two different leagues. It's, this is smart because this is a sound investment. Sport teams, and which is why we picked our question. Oh, we got Mr. Freeze joining the group. We were talking about you earlier. Which is why we chose our opening face-off question the way we did, is because, LeBron's getting into it. So, like, what team would you want to go into? And, like, it's a smart investment because the Red Sox are one of the marquee franchises of Major League Baseball. It's, the Yankees, I hate to say it, but the Yankees first. Yankees are probably the most recognizable baseball team. You get the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and that's it. Like, if you want to talk like really recognizable brands, those are the three teams because they're so huge. Maybe to a lesser extent the Astros because of the last few years, but nobody else is really like jumps off the page. Like, okay, like if you're going to be going somewhere, you're in the Midwest or you're in the South, like you'll see Yankees and Red Sox and Dodgers stuff. Like that's one of those things. Like you'll see Raiders and Cowboys stuff all over the country. So, but let's move on because there's a lot of news in the NHL. And the first thing I kind of want to touch on.
Or maybe the NFL.
The NFL, yes, the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I want to touch on is that several women have come forward. I think the count is now 6, accusing Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson of sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a conspiracy theory going around that maybe not all of these are genuine, and the Texans are kind of doing this to force him to still play there and decrease his trade value because he does not want to play there. One of the things that was brought up was that the lawyer representing I think one of the accusers is known for taking cases like this and trying to get as much money as possible and getting his name in the paper. So he's kind of like a bullshit lawyer. However, I will never dismiss charges of sexual assault in any case, because it turns out to be true far too often.
I mean, here's the thing. If it's true, then he's a shitty person.
Absolutely.
And absolutely needs to be held accountable.
And needs to be kicked out of the league.
If this is some kind of PR stunt that the Texans are doing,
their ownership group needs to be stripped
a
of the
way
team.
to tarnish Deshaun Watson's reputation and make him less desirable for other teams, so he continues to be on the Texans. That is fucked up.
Yeah, both.
That is so fucked up.
Either way, we're looking at this.
Either way,
there's
it's
no good outcome.
Somebody is in the wrong, and that is all. They need to be reprimanded for it.
Yes, and I would not exclude prison time.
Like that is, you do not.
We know that that the Texans owner, I think the former owner, I think he passed away, but it's his son that owns it now, was a very outspoken racist. So, I mean, I don't understand how outspoken racists get involved in sports that have
predominantly players of color.
Yeah, people who don't match the your ideal version of what people should look like. So just, I don't like it. But so free agency.
A lot of stuff is happening.
The Patriots have been very, very busy. They have added Jonnu Smith, Matthew Judon, who I think is an excellent linebacker, Jalen Mills, Nelson Aguilar, who I'm kind of upset the Raiders didn't keep, but they did just sign John Brown off of Buffalo's team. Hunter Henry, so they got the top two tight ends. Kyle Van Noy is returning after spending last season with Miami, and I'm sure our buddy Adrian's going to be happy because I had traded him a Kyle Van Noy helmet a few months back, and now Van Noy's back on the Patriots, so it's like, all right, this is relevant again. The Patriots did lose a significant piece of at least their run-stopping game in Patrick Chung.
Yeah, he announced his retirement
on Instagram
this morning.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure he let the team know first, but he had opted out of last season, so he didn't play last year. So technically his last year that he played was Brady's last year.
Well, and speaking of retirement, Drew Brees
just
announced, his kids announced his retirement. Yep. He's retiring to stay home and spend more time with his kids.
By which he means being a broadcaster on CBS.
But I mean,
or ABC, one of the two.
A job's a job. If you feel like you still need to work, aside from
he made like $40 million last year, so
and millions of dollars that you made, then that's your prerogative. But it'll, even if he does take an announcing position, it'll allow him to be home more.
No, he did. He already has.
Oh, he already has.
Yeah. But he's not going to have to be at the field 5 a.m. every day.
It's not the same amount of crazy travel that happens. He's going to have a lot more free time.
Yeah. So the Bucs, because of Brady's re-signed contract, they got Godwin on a franchise tag. They weren't able to get a long-term deal done with him, but they did re-sign Shaq Barrett. The Chiefs have signed former Patriot Joe Thuney. The Raiders have gotten rid of most of their offensive line, and not the fucking guy I wanted them to, because what's his name? The bullying guy. Now I can't think of his name. But he's like 37 now. They got rid of Gabe Jackson. They traded him to Seattle for a 5th round pick. They got rid of Rodney Hudson. He just got traded. They traded Trent Brown to the Patriots. I don't know what they're doing on their offensive line. However, they did, like I said, they picked up John Brown, the wide receiver, who was the number 1 wide receiver until Stephon Diggs showed up in Buffalo. They also picked up a guy that I'm happy and that I wanted them to get, Yannick Ngakoue, who was the former Jaguar and Raven. He's really good. I'm glad, because they need someone who can generate a pass rush. That guy's never had fewer than 8 sacks in a season. So good. And today they signed Kenyon Drake, formerly of the the Cardinals, who had just shy of 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. So I'm happy with that. That's a good move for me.
So Vegas released their odds for the Super Bowl already.
Not the Vegas Raiders, but Las Vegas, the gambling
Vegas,
community.
yeah. They released their odds. So they have the Chiefs in the number 1 position for winning the Super Bowl next year.
Now, I just want to throw something out there as far as what the Patriots have done and their motivation for doing it. I think they're doing it because, and this was a great point that was brought up by Mike Felger on Sports Hub. And he's like, it's more of a condemnation of Belichick's drafting ability. Because what did they do? What were their 2 big signings on offense? 2 tight ends. They signed 2 free agent tight ends. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's because Bill's playing chess while everybody else is playing hungry hippos. It's like, didn't you just draft 2 tight ends last year? So you're already giving up on your tight ends?
Fun fact about tight end. My girlfriends and I, when we would watch football, this was back in like college, we turned it into a drinking game. So anytime anyone mentioned tight end, we'd yell tight end and we'd take a shot.
That's fair. Well, you would die if you watched a single Patriots game.
I mean, this was a while ago.
But yeah, they look like they're loading up because, I mean, they had to because they didn't have good players. The best players they had, a guy like Joe Tooney, he's gone. David Andrews, they need to lock up because he's one of the better centers in the league. So they really need to make sure that they bring him back to keep the offensive line, intact. I don't know what Trent Brown's going to be because that guy was over 400 pounds when he played for the Raiders. He was out of shape, and he couldn't stay on the field. He was hurt. He had COVID. He was hurt. He had COVID. He was hurt. He had COVID. I think he played 75 snaps all season, something ridiculous like that. He did not contribute anything for what he was making, and so let the Patriots take him. My big issue with the fact that all the Patriots have all these, talented pass catchers is who's going to be throwing them the ball? Cam? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're getting all these weapons. You're getting Cam Newton, all of these receivers, but you wouldn't do it for Tom fucking Brady? Like, and then Brady.
I mean, maybe they thought that Tom Brady didn't need it because Tom Brady, long story short, Tom Brady can make magic happen.
I mean, he
can.
He did for years. For years,
he did. And now he's doing it down in Tampa.
Well, he's got the weapons in Tampa.
So my theory is that they're trying to, turn Cam Newton into something that he's not.
They're hoping that
they're
revitalize his 2015 MVP form.
Yes.
It's not going to happen. Yes, Patrick Chung did retire. Yes.
Yeah, announced this
Yes,
morning.
Tampa is stacked. You know what I think is funny? All these receivers that they're bringing in.
So Vegas, going back to that, yeah. So Vegas has Tampa in the number 2 spot, and the theory is that
no team has repeated for 19 years.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why. So pretty much it's the Chiefs and Tampa right now that are pretty much neck and neck as far as
I say watch out for the Rams.
The Super Bowl goes. And they have the Bills in the number 3 spot.
Not surprised. Bills were in the AFC Championship last year.
Patriots are all the way down in the number 14 slot.
I think that's too high. Now, the other thing that you have to take into consideration that this year is 17 games instead of 16. This is the first time that they're doing that. So
how many players are going to complain about that?
It's already been collectively.
Are they already complaining about it?
They added the one regular season. They've been talking about this for years. They got rid of 2 preseason games, which who cares about preseason, especially in COVID land.
Well, I mean, not only that, preseason, a lot of guys don't use their top players anyways.
What is Zombie doing? We got a cat sighting over here.
Oh, girl.
Belichick got embarrassed. Yep. Yeah. And you know what? The Patriots will be playing Tampa in Foxborough.
Oh.
And I think Bill just didn't want to see Tom hang 60 on him. He still might, because my theory is they haven't re-signed Antonio Brown, which good, fuck Antonio Brown. And the Patriots keep bringing all these receivers. Edelman's still hurt. Edelman's going to get cut. Edelman is going to do what all old football players do: head down to Florida to retire. And he's gonna end up on that team. He probably won't play much. Yeah, the draft isn't even here, and they got all these players. Yeah, all they need is a quarterback. It's the most important position in all of sports, and they don't have one. They have Cam Newton, who is not efficient enough. So, do you have any other thoughts, or do you want to just get to this contest?
I think we should. I mean, I think people have waited long enough.
Yeah,
I think this has been a really stacked episode.
Yeah, and we were very efficient for the most part.
So I think we should give the people what they're here for.
Yes, let's share the screen, and let's pull this up. Let's make sure we're sharing audio as well, because I like that music. So let's go back to our wheel of names, so you guys can see the wheel of names. I'm gonna full screen that so you can see the whole thing. So we are behind it. So we are going to do. Hold on. Let's see. She says, I hope they sell tickets because I want to be at that game. It might be. I think it's later in the year. I haven't been active getting players around along in Bucks and Patriots Super Bowl. If Mahomes and Allen and everyone else in the league gets hurt, sure. I don't think the Patriots win their division. I think they're third or fourth in their division, Jonathan. That's my opinion, because I still think Miami is better than you and Buffalo is way better than you. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but let's get to the wheel of names. All right, so we are going to shuffle this 12 times for Tom Brady. So as you can see, there's 164 entries. So let's shuffle. We have one.
That didn't shuffle.
No, it takes a second because there's 164 names. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, everybody.
So just a reminder, first winner gets first choice of either the Bill Belichick helmet or the Magic Johnson basketball.
Yes.
And second winner
we'll get whatever's
we'll
left.
get, yeah, which I mean, both are really solid pieces. There really isn't I mean, let's face it, guys.
The Belichick is more rare.
Yeah, but like all of this money is going towards a really good cause. So are there really any losers?
Yeah, and we've already put like lots of money back into the sports group trying to win stuff. So
and there's also going to be a tertiary prize. Correct?
I didn't say that.
I thought you were putting everyone who donated's names into a wheel spin. Like, so if you didn't win.
No, that's why we're doing the 2 prizes.
Oh. Well, this is what happens when I skip rehearsal.
I mean, maybe we'll do that, you know, now that you've said it. I've got some pretty cool stuff coming in. Maybe I'll do it for like I'll do a jersey giveaway for I don't have it prepared now, but I will do that since I got put on the spot and now I have to. So
well, no, in my defense, this was something that you were like, hey, I think I'll do that. And I was like, hey, that's a really good idea.
All right.
So
I mean,
if you don't win,
anybody who doesn't win
might
will
still have a chance to win something.
I don't know what, maybe a jersey or a helmet or something. Like we'll see. Well, I just gotta make sure people are aware that we're doing this. About to drop.
About to pick a winner,
helmet.
gonna pick a winner
All
winner
right.
tonight.
So let's go to customize because I put it on 10 seconds. I don't want it on 10. I want it on 30 seconds.
Nah, let it
No.
go for 60 seconds.
No, because the music ends after 30 seconds.
I can sing.
Okay, so let's do 60 seconds for this. So 60 seconds. We've got 164 names. Image, I want an atom in the middle. Oh, they didn't give me my image. All right, so we've shuffled it 12 times. We are about to do this, so let's remember, it's whoever the computer says. Doesn't matter what the line says, it matters what the computer says. So here we go. All right, we are slowing down. Slowing down. Who's it going to land on?
It's going.
Where's it going?
It's gonna pick a name. It's gonna pick a name.
Is it gonna land on Adrian? Adrian wins everything.
Nope, still going. Still creeping along.
Still creeping.
Still going.
Oh, it might land up on Eric Goodwin.
Might be stopping.
Is it Eric or is it Vanessa?
Stopping? It's still
Eric Goodwin. All right. So you get first choice. So we're going to remove that instance of your name. So let's drop that up. So Eric Goodwin, you get your choice of either the Belichick or the Magic Johnson. And let's run this again. Let's do 60 seconds again. And let's see what we get. All right, let's see. We're slowing down. Slowing down. Where's it going to go?
Wheel of morality. Turn.
Is it going to land on him again?
Tell us the lesson that we should
it's
learn.
Going to go by. Oh, is it Kaylee? Is it Eric? Is it Dave? Is it Adrian? Who's it going to be? Oh, is it going to be Dave or is it going to be Adrian?
It's stopping. It's still going slowly. Who is it?
Adrian! That dude wins so much. All right, so Adrian, actually, I have a bunch of stuff. I got to go see him in the next day or so because I have a bunch of stuff for him. So congratulations, you guys. Thank you to everybody who contributed. This was awesome. This was really great, and this was a great cause. And you know what? Well, because of what we were able to do, I'm going to try and find another really good piece, and we're going to try and raise some more money for this group. Like Jonathan said earlier, next time, let's try to get 1,000. So that's what we'll do next time. We're gonna go for we're gonna find some good stuff, and we're gonna run another contest, and we are gonna try to get. And Dave Cody says, "Congrats, Dave! I was rooting for you. You maxed out on spots. You got the code phrase. Like you were definitely contributing. So I was in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I hope Dave gets to hit. But
well, do you seeing as we still have the wheel up?
Thank you. You want to run one more?
Do you want to run one more? And that the winner of that one. So if you didn't win the top 2 prizes, don't worry. We're going to spin again for a mystery prize.
Yeah.
To thank you guys for all of your time, your donations. All of this is going towards such a really good cause, to help the kids and everything. And, we're so grateful. So I think seeing as we still have it up.
All right. Yeah. I just removed Adrian out of there.
To give you all another chance to win something super cool. We have quite the stash of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be something.
Well, that's what a mystery is.
All right, I will tell you this.
It's such a mystery, we don't even know what
I will tell you this. Whatever it is, whoever wins, I will let them pick the sport football, baseball, basketball, or hockey.
Oh, okay.
And you will get a Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay.
So let's, and it can't be anybody who already won. So this is for the third prize. So let me pull this back up. What's the max spots? Max spots was 15 until the last couple of days, and then I let it go unlimited. So we're gonna share the screen again. We're gonna, since I still have this up, and we're gonna run the wheel for, you get to pick a sport, and you will get a Hall of Famer. I think that's fair. And here we go. Let me full screen here. All right, still going. Remember, it can't be somebody who already won, so it can't be Adrian, it can't be Eric.
Keep going.
It's still going.
Keep going.
Is it going to land on Adrian
Still
again?
Going.
Better not.
Still going.
Oh, is it going to be Patrick? Oh, he'd be so mad. No, it looks like it might be Brucey. Brucey from Strong Willed Sports.
Oh, fantastic!
Bruce Thomas, you get the third prize, and we'll see what he wants to do.
The mystery prize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a mystery. Even we don't know what it's going to be.
So he's gonna. I'm guessing he's gonna pick hockey. He's a big hockey guy. But we'll get him a hockey thing, and he's a Bruins guy too. So we'll have to probably get him some Bruins stuff. But we'll figure it out. But thank you. That's gonna wrap up the show for us. Thank you guys all next month. All for everything. Thank you so much. 15 spots is fair. Yeah. Brucey. Yeah. See, Dave knows. Dave knows. That's pretty awesome. But knowing Brucey, he'll probably want to raffle off his prize. I'm gonna peer into the future and say that that's what he's gonna do. But yeah, let's do this again. I'm gonna really dig in and get some good stuff. Another nice New England sports piece and see what I can do for you guys. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to Strong Willed for letting us be a part of your journey. And I think with that being said,
peace out. We're out of here.
What's your catchphrase?
Oh, I thought we were saying like goodbye.
Well, yeah, we got to do your catchphrase first.
Oh, well, until next time, kids, try to stay out of the penalty box.
Peace out. We're out of here. I was waiting for you to do it with me.
God damn it. This is
all right, ready? On three.
Okay,
1, 2, 3.
Peace out. We're out of here.